Greetings, everyone. We are starting off today with my session from exposure to exponentially paid. And if you're watching this back on the recording, it's going to be just as good as if you were in here live. So drop a comment, let me know what you think, let me know what level you're at as I go through these slides here today. And then we're going to be going live in Facebook and bringing in the Zoom community very shortly. So I'm excited to chat with you all. From exposure. All right. Cool. Want to make sure Denise is all right, bringing us in. Because I'm going to be getting into it. I have a story to share, how I went from exposure to exponentially paid, and I hope some of y'all can relate.
Any support needed, partner?
Press go live. It looks like it's still going.
Just refresh, like go back and try it again, and we're gonna move forward. You'll just
it says you don't have permission.
Do it again. That's happened to me, and I just repeated. Just refresh and start it again. And it'll eventually go. It should. If not, I'll help out. But I'm gonna bridge in the Zoomers, and we'll go in later on the Facebook because I can't do it as cleanly when I have the slides up. All right, here we go, Sam Renee. You can just jump right in.
All right.
There you go, sis.
Okay, greetings, everyone. Coming in from Zoom. I see you all coming in. Good morning, good morning.
Mr. Zulu that someone lost his life, but had Mr. Zulu not.
We got some people coming in. Good morning, good morning. Today we'll be going into my session from exposure to exponentially paid. If you're driving, listen in. If you are able to get a pen and a paper or your phone to take some notes so that you can set yourself up where whatever level you're at right now, you'll be able to, I'm sure this session will help you just gain some clarity and help, continue to push you into the right direction. Good morning, Marilyn. We're happy to have you here this morning. We have a few other folks. All right, and we are live, going live in Facebook as well. Good morning, Facebookers. Good morning to those who are just coming in. And very shortly, we will be getting started with the session. Drop in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling this morning. And are you ready?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Is that Adam?
That's me.
All right. And Coach Shawnee in here, she says she's sleepy, but she's here. So we all getting ready to start the day on a good note, because I'm trying to help y'all. I went from exposure to exponentially paid. I'm not all the way at the top of my, exponents that I'm trying to build up, but I've made some, steps further. So I want to share this with you and hope that, you can get the same thing. You can get some same information from me. I'm going to dance.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing together. motion, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
All right, all right. I love coming in right after the introduction song. So, for those who don't know, my name is Sam Renee. I'm a content strategist, visual storyteller, as well as a brand photographer and videographer. And I've had the pleasure of being in business since 2013, but I officially started my own business without my partner in 2017. So, I've had the journey of getting paid with exposure to getting paid based upon my limiting beliefs. And I want to share some information with you just in case you're on the same journey. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you're still, maybe in your 9 to 5 and maybe you're looking for a raise. So the slides do relate to entrepreneurship, but if you are, in your career and your job, you can relate it to that as well. So I would love for you to pull up the first slide, Shawnee.
Please, sure did.
Thank you, thank you.
All righty. Here we go.
So as we go into the slide, you will see that there's, levels from going from exposure to exponentially paid. And I do want to say, getting paid with exposure does have like a negative connotation to it at times, but sometimes it is valuable. When you're just getting started, you're looking to understand what it is that the people need from you, how you can provide value just starting off in the space that you're at. It can be a great thing. And then sometimes people take advantage of you. So I will go into that a little bit later. So the first level will be exposure, right? That's where you're less focused on the monetary exchange and you're focused on the market research and collecting the data that you need to understand, okay, well, who am I compared to my competitors in their rates? Am I at the level that I can take on, a lot of work? Like you got to understand what it is that you provide, understand what it is that you need to call in to be able to get ready for the next level. And the next level is when you're, starting your starting price. And I've had a starting price because it was based upon my beliefs. So based upon your skills and your beliefs, you get started so you start building that experience. The next one you want to go into is when your confidence is rising, right? You're already went through the exposure stage, you have a starting price, but then you start building that confidence to get the value that you provide the value that you can, as well as receiving more from your clients and customers. Or like I said, maybe your job. So you start learning your audience and improving your skills. Number 4 is where I'm currently at. I have evidence, right? Knowing that my audience is ready to, take me up on my offers, as well as I'm focusing on building that community and that consistency so that it continues to grow. Now, the last level is that back pay level. Once you've went through all of these stages, you went through all your limiting beliefs, and you then start to bring in the money that you weren't confident enough to say that you wanted in the beginning, whether it be a limiting belief or not having the knowledge. Once you get to that back pay level, you start to get to the point where you already know, don't play in my face. That's what I like to call it, the don't play in my face level, because you know what you deserve, you know the value that you bring. Okay, so I would love for you all to share, what level are you currently at right now in regards to going from exposure to exponentially paid? And I love some shares. Or you can drop it in the chat as well.
All righty. So I'll start us off and share that I'm in stage 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in business for 20 years. not to say that from the start, like I moved quickly through these levels. I had a full-time job and still had that as a safety net and a backup, and was doing other stuff as well. But I actually released my job in 2009. I used to work for the state, and started to pursue the business, and it was rough in the beginning. But now in 2022, I can safely say that I'm in the light pink.
Yes.
And generating more and more. But I love this stair step piece. And I'm curious, Sam, too, I know you'll hear from other people, but if you can be in stage 5 like I am right now, and then go back because of some shift in the business, but you can answer that later once we move through this piece. I'm curious about that.
So that's actually that you mentioned it. So I'm at level 4 in my business, a more creative agency. But with me starting, new things, I have to go back to the first level. So that's what's keeping me in a stalling stage, because I'm like, wow, I already started these things. I already went through these things. So, it did create some, what I want to say, like, discouragement to have to go back to the beginning, but I've learned that I have to accept it, and it's just a part of the journey. So that's where I've been able to clear that discouragement so that I can get started and continue to move up.
Oh, cool. Thanks for sharing that. And Marilyn said, I'm in between stage 1 and 2. So you want to have her speak to you about that?
Yes, Marilyn, I would love if she could speak about that.
Marilyn, can you come on and share a little bit more about your placement and why you believe you're there?
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And I say that I'm between 1 and 2 because I'm just starting off. I have the ideas of things I want to do. For instance, I'm in the middle of writing a book. I just started with that. So that's why I feel like I'm still in 1, but I'm also preparing myself and doing the research, getting stuff ready, because I want to bring information to people.
Right.
Those here in the Wu family know that I'm a teacher, and I want to be a facilitator and kind of bring webinars and stuff like that to parents regarding things that they can work on with their kids that they probably don't know that they should be doing at home before they even start preschool. I always notice that when kids come in the beginning of the school year, they are lacking a lot of basic knowledge. So I feel that preparing myself well, getting everything in order, making these webinars, these presentations, and then ultimately, I do want to bring that to my job because we're a Head Start program, and we do a lot of family engagement. And part of it, we do parenting courses and stuff. And I want to bring them my product so that I could bring it to the parents.
So it's really good because you have in that exposure stage, right? This is where you can be collecting the data, right? So you already have connections with the parents, right, to be able to share this information, and you can start asking questions. You can pass out some cards, have people have the parents return them to you. So that's a great space to be in, especially because you already have like your market audience right there with you coming in, and you're having those touch points as well. So that's really good. And thank you for sharing. Would anybody else? You're very welcome. Would anybody else?
Sure. So Zakia shared that she has been in stage 5 in the past, currently between stage 1 and 2 as well with her current projects. And then Veronica shared that she's between 2 and 3. Aquia said, I'm in 4, been in 5, but now no clients, so I'm feeling perhaps to change. And then Tracy Ann said that pre-K webinar is a necessity. So you want to speak to any of the folks that declared their numbers, or any of them prepared to share? So Z or Veronica or Aquia?
Yes.
Anybody down to share why you placed yourself in the zone that you did? Aquia. All right, thank you.
Hi, this is a great, yes,
Go ahead.
yes, this is a queer. Yes,
Uh-oh.
pretty nice.
I don't think she's aware. We're missing out on the juice.
Yes.
All right, so let me mute.
But
Okay. Well, I do want to
quickly,
hear, but
All right. I think there was a lack of awareness about the
yes.
connection issue. So Z, Veronica, interested in sharing?
Sure, I can share. This is Veronica. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, Veronica.
Yes. I feel as though I'm in 2 and 3 and sort of stuck in 2 for a number of reasons. Because I've been quilting for a very long time.
Mm.
And so I just started over COVID, over the last 3 years, actually avidly vending and selling my product.
Okay.
And so I was really when you said stage 2, where you have a price, but it's not really the price that you want, because you're looking at your clients and their needs and how you can expose yourself in order to expand yourself. It means that you have to do a whole lot of work. And I believe that for me, I'm not doing all the work that I could and should do.
Right. Right. So
And then, yeah. And
so
then
as
there's
you're
the
at
quilting.
this beginning stage, right, with the
Yeah.
starting price, but you kind of ready to move towards confidence rising, but you have some, is it like clarity missing how you go from that space?
As I'm sitting here and I'm reflecting on it, and I realize, all right, I have a Shopify, I have my business cards, I have all the little things that I need to do, but I'm at the same time, the confidence is not rising enough to keep pushing my
Okay.
product.
Okay. I got it. Well,
And this is very helpful. Just looking at these stages and saying, oh, I want to get through stage 3. I love that you gave me these steps that I could start moving towards getting out of stage 3, getting
yes.
into stage 3 and out of it.
Yes.
Yes.
And
then
I'm going to share some more. So
thank you.
you'll be able to, maybe if you can screenshot it or you want to catch
I
up
did.
with me, afterwards, we can do that as well. But thank
Thank
you for sharing.
you.
Okay, Coach Shoni, hit me with the next slide, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so as you're in this exposure stage, as I said, it's all about creating the awareness. If nobody knows exactly what you do or what you offer, you're going to be stuck with feeling like, oh, no one supports me, or my family and friends don't care about my business. You have to make sure you're creating that awareness, having conversations with people. It doesn't even have to be somebody who's directly in your target audience at the time. It could just be letting somebody know, maybe with Veronica and her quilts. Maybe a husband doesn't want to quilt, but you could say, hey, let your wife know I have quilts, creating that exposure, awareness around what it is that you do. Right. And it is depending on what industry you're in, it could be very competitive or mildly competitive, but you want to know like what your competitors are doing. So as you're getting your foot in the door, you either can come in with some value to make yourself, different, or making sure that you price within the competitive market. So people are not feeling like, okay, well, I don't know this woman or man, and I'm ready to get started, but I have no idea why would I go to this person, because they're maybe, charging too low or maybe charging too high for what you're offering. So be aware of that. And then collecting the data, right? Know what your audience wants. Like I said, earlier, I forgot her name, Marilyn. She, let us know she's already in contact with people who will be in her target audience, the parents. So she can collect that information now. So you can go ahead and hit me with the next slide. And if anybody has any shares about that, please drop it in the chat. But I do want to get into how I was able to get up to level 4 now, right? So back when I first started my business, I did have a business partner, and that business was dissolved by the end of the year. And it's all just around not really knowing like how to really run a business and treating it as a hobby. So when I came back around the second time to start the business, I had some fears and some limiting beliefs around what I was capable of providing, because I'm like, okay, I already had one business that fell. Who will come to me? I'm not as known as the other photographers and videographers who are in the area. So my starting rate was at $35 per hour, because I'm like, well, everybody else is at 50 or more. So let me price it a little bit lower so that people will be more willing to come to me. That was my beliefs. That wasn't true. I could have charged $50, $75, but based on my beliefs. So if anyone would like to share, um, what are some limiting beliefs that has kept you from getting the income that you know that you deserve to bring in from the value that you provide?
All right, someone who would like to share, please raise your digital hand to let us know that you'd like to, or you can drop it in the chat and let us know that you want to share. This is a powerful question, Sam. I'll say really quickly that sometimes this happens with me now because I'm in stage 5 and I've been generating for a minute with the business. But when I was first starting out, a limited belief is that I wasn't, and this was unconscious until I brought it to the conscious level, that I wasn't worthy of the monies that I was asking for, or thinking that I could ask for. So I would lowball myself and ask for like pennies for things that I was offering that had high value. Because I was in the story of this is too much. And if I ask for too much, I'm not going to get anything because they're going to say no, period. So I was in that space for sure. And as I expand, a big thing that is a shift for me is focusing more on manifesting speaking engagements. Sometimes I'm hesitant about the speaker fee, but for the most part, I charge ahead, but meaning like I move forward, but it does creep in sometimes. And then I have to check myself about like where that's coming from.
Right. So similar to me, you start like, I said I started at $35 per hour when I was doing events, but now I'm able to, confidently say, okay, well, my starting rate for, a photo session is $299. My starting package for the content creation package is $2,500. So similar to you, I can now say, knowing that from the value that I provide. So thank you for sharing that. I can definitely relate.
I would like to share too. I think
Okay.
For me, it has been oftentimes comparing myself to someone else and never putting myself on I am as good as or better.
Right.
And then sometimes looking at my audience and saying maybe they can't afford this. So I'm limiting and saying, well, I want to make it affordable, and not assuming that people can't pay what you're worth is and won't pay.
Yes.
So
So
the limiting that my audience will not be able to pay. So let me lower
the
what
rate.
I should write.
Yep. So we all, said it maybe a little bit differently, but the limiting belief seems to be the same. When you're starting off, having that confidence to ask for your rate, but instead of staying still, I would encourage you to just, start with the starting rate and then continue to build the evidence and knowing that you can get to the next level. Okay, thank you for sharing. And you can go ahead to the next slide. Right, so just like I shared with Denise, you want to have that evidence because it's a confidence booster, right? So I can now raise my prices and expand my audience, and I have clients that pay without any problems. I don't get a lot of pushback because I've moved myself out of the space in a limiting belief, right? So maybe you have some testimonials, some reviews of the things that you offer, and then you get to the space where you can stop overworking yourself for the pennies and understand what it takes to complete the job. I have to travel, I have to set up, I have to break down, I have to travel back home. These things are all included now so that I'm not letting any type of limiting belief stop me from the value that I'm providing. And then you get to the point where you can start diversifying your income. So one skill you could then turn into multiple streams of income, because now I do shoots, but then I can also create the course. I can do webinars all around content creation and marketing. So you want to make sure that you're getting to the level where you're have the evidence, and that could be the confidence booster that you need to start climbing up to the next levels. And you can hit me with the next slide, and then I'll ask the community how they feel about getting to the back pay level. So getting to the back pay level when you're exponentially paid, right? Here's the formula for it. You want to have the community plus your expertise and the awareness. No matter what level you at, you still need the awareness around what it is that you do, and that'll get you to that exponentially paid level, right? Because you have the community helping you spread the word, you have your knowledge to be able to provide that value and be known as a expert in your field, and you have to market yourself properly. And I also want to say at this stage, once exposure is involved, it's more so you getting to choose, do I want to do this for exposure? Because people know the value that you provide, right? So you go, an example would be a music artist going from doing free verses to now the most popular ones, they probably could charge even more than 150K for a verse because they have that awareness, and they've gotten to the stage where people respect where they are and you won't get a lot of pushback. So I would love someone to share where they're at right now, and are they looking to get to the level of being exponentially paid? And are you committed to getting to that level as well?
Great to hear the declarations in this space.
Yes.
Curious, Marilyn, are you able to share? Because we started off hearing from you. So this would be nice, like to return or circle back to what you have to share about your own journey.
Yes.
Yes, I could share. Yes, I do want to get to that point where I'm exponentially paid. I just guess I have to figure out the do's and the don'ts and how to really market myself the right way. I know that through Facebook and Instagram, they're good ways of getting my product out there. But I guess it's also me having the confidence, me having the time, because I am a full-time teacher, a full-time student as well, a full-time wife. So it's like trying to juggle everything at once. But to get to that point, that is my dream. I want to be able to get that money rolling in, because I feel like I've been stagnant with my pay for so long that it's time for something bigger and better.
Yes. I can agree. I can agree. And also, like I said to you earlier, you have those parents, so make sure that you're in communication with them, because that's the greatest touch point right there. Just having a person that you have access to, and you could ask these questions and ask for the participation and get that feedback. So as you're growing into the next stages, you'll be able to have the information that you need and some feedback so you can, clear things up and continue to move along.
Thank you.
Sam, I have a question for Marilyn before you sign
Yes.
off, not sign off, but go off camera. I wanted to ask about the formula. So, Marilyn was speaking just based on what you laid out. And I'm curious about what you put up here because I think it's so powerful. Like if there's a formula, it's like we can tap in. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I see you have community plus expertise plus awareness equals exponentially paid. And I'm like, yeah. So I know we're short on time, but is there any way to like amplify this formula for Marilyn before we sign off?
Yes, so get creative, Marilyn, right? So like you're at that beginning stage, right? So you're at the exposure and you want to start charging, right? So maybe invite 4 or 5 of the parents, I should say, into a session. See what they think. You don't have to, charge them for it if you're not there yet with feeling like, okay, I'm ready to charge someone, but just create that so then you start building a community because guess what? When you provide some value for them, then they start sharing with the other parents and as well as you being able to get to the feedback. So you're sharing your expertise, you're starting to build the community, and then that's going to help you with the awareness. So as you continue to move forward within that, then you'll be, reaching a level of exponentially paid.
That's a great idea. I didn't even think of that, you see? To just use even my
Yes,
former
yes. So
parents.
start
I
small.
tend to I continue to stay connected with a lot of parents that I've had from kids from years back. So yeah, that would be a great idea to kind of have those that I'm still connected with and who still keep in contact with me to kind of join in and help me
Yes,
hone in on my skills. Thank you.
you're very welcome. Very, very
Alrighty.
welcome.
So anything you want to say in this final moment, Sam, Renee, to community before we move forward?
Yes. My contact information, we will go to shortly, but I encourage you, I'm going to be sharing a lot of information. So if whatever level you're at, you can come on in and follow me, communicate with me, reach out to me so that I can, help you if you're looking to grow within these levels.
Beautiful. Thank you. So excited.
You're welcome.
So excited.
So yeah, so here's my contact information. I am, on all the social platforms, but definitely if you want to reach out to me, Instagram DM, send me an email, and we can connect for sure.
Beautiful. All righty. And so family, once again, an opportunity to contribute to this powerful community, wake up everybody so that we can all grow or continue to grow and ascend. I'm thinking about this power pack session. It's technically an appetizer session, but she gave us a full meal in this space in a very short period of time. It doesn't take all day for us to be brilliant, for us to grow and transform. It can happen in an instant. So please apply what you learned in the space so that we can continue to move in the direction of number 5, exponentially paid, because we're deserving of that. We definitely are deserving of that. So here you have an automated payment opportunity for the Wake Up family. So you can, just put in a monthly payment and just set it and forget about it so that you can continue to give on a regular basis to this community that gives to all of you. We love you, and we want to make sure that there's reciprocity in the relationship and in the ability to keep generating resources for the community. And I want to announce my beloved sister, Stacy. I've been missing you in this space. I think she came in this morning, she jumped in, and she is going to be leading tomorrow a session entitled Spring into Fall with Yogisha, right? So we're going to spring into fall with our beloved Stacy, and I know there's no one that can do it. Help us leap into the next season like our sister Yogisha. So please join us, set your alarm, and be ready with your springboard legs and shoes, and just be ready to jump in so that you can be amplified and ready to receive what's next for you in the next season, literally and figuratively. And Woo Nation, all new members, anybody who is new in this space for the first time, please do come back. We are big on asking you not to have it be one and done. but to have you coming back over and over again. Some of you started off just peeping in from knowing a facilitator, just checking us out, and now you come on a regular basis, and this has become your energizer, your vitamins for the day. So keep on coming back, newcomers, so that you can be with us as we continue to learn, elevate, and ascend. And we have a schedule. And today is a demonstration of what we do in this space. So on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, we have a longer session from 7 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have sessions like today from 7 to 7:30 a.m. We thank you for being in here with us on this Wednesday morning, a day that we'll never see again, but a day that we can rock out and see clearly just what's possible for the day that comes after. So if you need notifications and reminders to come in here in the morning, you can get that by typing in on your cell via text 74121. Look at it at the bottom of this slide. And then when you type out a message, put Woo Nation in all caps, and then you'll automatically be added to the reminders in the morning. And we have Woo swag. So just looking forward to you all rocking out in the summer. In the winter time, or in the fall and into the winter. I don't want to rush us. So get your sweatshirts. It's not quite time for jackets, but you can put on a sweatshirt. You can put a t-shirt on and have a blazer over it and just be blazing and looking fly. You have a water bottle. We can never stay too hydrated. You can carry your stuff in a Woo tote bag. Have a journal to take notes about what's next for your exponentially paid journey, and masks to stay safe. All of that juiciness that will allow us to keep growing as a collective. And finally, we celebrate our sister Sam being here. But the way for us to access all of this, like we experienced today, all of this knowledge and growth and transformation energy, is to tap into our private or public Facebook page to register to see who's coming up next each week, so we know what facilitators will be here and what the topics will be. And then follow us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. Do that now if you're not already on Instagram watching and rocking with us. And then YouTube, we're working on amplifying our postings around our recordings of these sessions. And if you have something to say or offer other facilitators, ideas, info.wakeupseries@gmail is the way to go. And it's all been dropped in the chat by our admin, Denise, this morning. So we're complete as it relates to the shares about Wake Up and your participation. So let's love on our beloved Sister Sam, so she can go forward in her morning with her baby girl, because she's going to be taking her to school. Yes, so I'm going to put this in gallery view. Unmute yourselves.
Thank you,
Queen Sam, so much for
all this
this
information.
informative. Thank you,
Love it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It just allows us to grow and transform ourselves.
Thank
Such a light, such a powerful
Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
guidance, love,
And have a long time.
giving and 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 giving.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Everybody.
Love and namaste.
Expand myself. Thank you. Have a wonderful
y'all.
Make it rain. Let's
Love
make it
you,
rain.
family.
Peace.